Hey guys, this is Shinoo with InoKinetic, here to turn you on to a pretty wicked Ariel Atom that is for sale. We're helping out a friend of ours with his 2011 Ariel Atom3, okay? This is a car that I myself owned, not this very car, but the same model. It is the very best variant of the Atom 3. Frankly, I think of all the Atoms, if I'm honest, okay? So why? Let me tell you the 3 reasons why. It is California registered, okay? That means you can drive this car on the roads here and it absolutely retains its value because it has been registered through the California Kit Car program. Second reason why I think it's the best, that engine, okay? This engine is the K20A. This is the engine that came in the Civic Type R. This motor never came to the US, okay? This is the one that revs to the moon, like 9,000 RPM, okay? No balance shaft, so it kind of vibrates a bit when it's cold, but once it's warm, it's wicked. It is the best engine. And this engine also is supercharged, so it's a 300 horsepower version, right? What's the third reason? Well, the Atoms are very, very fun cars to drive, right? And so I think that owning this very car would be a very, very smart move for all of you who love driving, right? The Atoms are super lightweight. You're talking about a 1,500 pound car with a 300 horsepower engine. And it is a rear bias car, okay? So much like a Porsche 911, it is a car that moves underneath you. And I'm talking about older 911s, right? The new ones, as we know, have engineering brilliance over physics, right? A rear engine car is gonna understeer going into a corner, it's gonna oversteer exiting a corner. So you're constantly dancing with the car. It is so much fun. I spent so much time in my Atom 3, drove it all over the place, racetracks, Laguna Seca, Reno Fernley, Spring Mountain. What a great, great car to drive. You will guarantee have a ton of fun with this car. The other thing that's quite interesting about this car is it does not have a windshield. So you get the real original Ariel Atom experience. So you really need to wear a helmet when you drive this car aggressively, right? It is just a hoot to drive. So this particular variant has only less than 5,000 miles on it. It's got the full aero kit. It's got the Alcon brakes, which are the right brakes to have on this car. As I'm sure you know, it's a 6-speed manual gearbox. But what we'll do now is shoot some additional video showing you some of the features of the car, and we'll talk about that in full. Ariels are real simple cars. You know, there is a quick release steering wheel, so you can pop that off. And as you can see, here's your classic, instrument cluster with RPM and with the miles per hour. You got a fuel gauge, you got water temp, you got the mileage and odometer. So car's quite simple, right? Its ignition on is this switch right here, okay? So you flip that on, assuming you have your master kill switch on, okay? And then this is the start button right here. That starts the car right up, okay? This is a horn, all right? These are your turn signals, okay? Old school, like a motorcycle, they're not self-canceling. So you have to cancel it yourself, right? The middle spot is canceled, left is left, right is right, okay? Super simple. Emergency flasher, and then you got rear fog lights and then headlights, okay? So real simple controls. This car is equipped with the fire extinguisher bottle. So this will actually pull this and that'll deploy that assuming you've got it, engaged. And so anyhow, very simple car. You can see this one's actually lacks a dead pedal. That was one of the things that the car could certainly use, but clutch, brake, accelerator, right? And Ariel Atoms are cars that do not have any power steering or power brakes, right? There's no servo assist on the brakes. So you got a brake that is really, really solid, and you really manage brake with pressure and not travel, unlike most street cars that you're used to that are servo assisted, where you may actually manage your brakes with travel. Here it's really more pressure, and it takes a bit of pressure. Car's got a 6-speed gearbox. Again, this is the K20A, which is the Civic Type R motor. TMI, who produced the Ariel Atoms here in the US, they secured a contract with Honda Racing and got these crate motors from Japan. So there's not a single other Ariel in the world that comes with this engine. And this is the sweetest engine. It revs to 9,000 RPM. It's amazing. Now we're just gonna go cruise around a little bit. I don't have a helmet on, right? This car's only got the little wind kickers. I don't recommend driving this car without a helmet. So we're just gonna go do a real easy drive around the block here and give you a feel for what this car is like. In fact, it vibrates quite a bit until it's warm.
warm, man, it's magic. It is just a wonderful, wonderful engine. Revs to 9,000 RPM so willingly, so quickly. It's just so fun to drive. One thing about these cars, you can hear the supercharger in the intake, and it's really loud. I'll give it a little bit of an acceleration run here for you.
So one of the things about an Atom is strapping into the car, getting your helmet on, putting on your 4-point belts, tightening those things down, as you can see I'm doing here. Visibility can be a challenge to the rear of the car, but it's so much fun being able to see your front wheels moving as you're turning the steering wheel, particularly when you catch the car. So now we decided to speed up the film here so you can see us driving around in our industrial park. The Atom is dynamically a car that is so much fun to drive because it's inherently loose underneath you. As you're about to see, you do need to be careful because people don't see you. So cars will pull out just like that minivan. Even in a bright red car, they still won't see you. So the acceleration on the car is pretty addictive, and that intake and supercharger whine is pretty loud and wild. If you are even remotely interested in an Ariel Atom, this is the car for you. This is the absolute best variant, and the fact that it's California registered is a huge plus. California is making it tough to register kit cars. So get this car, it is registered and smog exempt for life. So an Atom should be on your short list if you love driving, because these things are a hoot to drive. Give us a call, send us an email if you're interested in the car.